impressed with Braden, and we're going to continue to push him.
And taking it away from the current team, Rank and Sam sign non-draft contracts. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to actually go out to Vegas, and there's a recruiting event out in Vegas the following weekend, starting on Thursday. So we'll get to go out there and watch not only those guys, but Bryce Williams will be playing with Detroit again. Josiah Alec will be out there with Charlotte. Jamarcus is going to be out there playing in a different event. So it'll be great to get out and see those guys and hopefully find a time where we can get them all together and go have dinner with them. But I'm excited for those guys, for their opportunities. Sam actually reported to Phoenix today, so he's going to get some workouts before they start practice. Then Rank, Indiana really liked him. And he had a lot of choices. He had a lot of teams that were willing to sign him to an Exhibit 10 contract. Just felt Indiana, with some of our ties there, and I know they're going to be honest as they talk about his opportunity there. But to go out there and support those guys is going to be a lot of fun for us. And then from a family standpoint, our son Jack is going to be on the front of the bench with San Antonio. So get out there, see some of the high school AAU event, but also see our guys out there as well.
5 for 5, looking like it's a possibility. Are there conversations about what that means for roster building?
I think the ones that it affects for next year are Price and Bowden for us, and then it's going to affect some of our younger guys down the road as well. But until it's 100%, it looks like it's going to pass. But yeah, we'll have those conversations, and listen, the impact that's going to have on our game to have a whole pool of guys that are going to have an extra year that have that type of experience. I don't know what to think about it right now, but it's going to add a whole new element to it. In an already crazy system. But the number one thing is going to be retention, and trying to keep the guys that have done great things for our program, and again, having Price and Bowden with that opportunity, bring back. Listen, Price had a choice this year: was he going to stay in the draft, or obviously made the decision to return. He'll have that again a year from now, and Bowden, the early returns on Bowden, I just love that kid. His motor. Think Josiah Alec from a motor standpoint. He gets after it. He's on the floor. Tenacious rebounder, so really like what I see, and hopefully, if it works for both of us, we'll have him back in a Husker uniform next year.
Along those roster building lines, what Dusty May said that they win a national championship and he didn't get a chance to bask in the glow because he's right back at it. I don't know if you read all that. I mean, 2 questions, I guess. Did you get a chance kind of to bask in making that run that you made? And how do you feel about the kind of state of the game?
Your first question, Steve. Yeah, I've always said, and I said it to our guys over the course of the season, you have to find a way to enjoy the ride and enjoy the journey, and to be able to be the first group that accomplished something, a very important milestone in the history of the program, something I think we're all very proud of. But that being said, yes, you get right back to work, and you want to feel that same thing a year from now, and you want to be in the same position and hopefully put yourself, in a spot where you can compete for championships. And that's the next step now, is to get back there and learn from some of the things that got us to that point, and then take the next step. As far as the state of the game, that's a loaded question, Steve. Playing in a lawless society, I guess, to an extent, is part of it that makes it hard. But it is what it is, and you got to do the best job that you can with the resources you have, and build the most competitive roster with the right guys. And I think we've done a good job of that. When you look at what we've done here the last 3 to 4 years with getting the right guys in this program, and winning 20 games 3 consecutive seasons for the first time, and then finally getting over the hump and winning that first game. So yes, there's a lot of things to be proud of, from where we are, but it's tough. It's a tough landscape to deal with. When you lose a guy that was a huge part of our success a year ago, it hurts. But again, it happened, and it's gonna happen again. And then there's other players that left programs, I'm sure, that hurt them. That you try to take advantage of the rules and bring them in if they fit your culture, and that's the number one thing that we look for in our players. So yes, the state of the game. It's a hard question to answer, Steve. Some things you really like about it. I think the talent level in our game is as good as it's ever been, with the influx of the European players, all the pro players that are playing in our game now. It makes it tough. And it's around the clock, 24 hours, all year long. Your mind never shuts off. Back in the old days, you didn't even have access to your coaches. Now our busiest time of year is when the season ends. As to Dusty's point, you win a championship, and I'm sure they were on the phone on Tuesday, trying to retain their guys and build a roster, which they did a great job of that. But, it does certainly provide some challenges.
Were you surprised by it when you saw that news?
Oh, I don't know about that. I texted with him. He's excited, obviously, about the opportunity. It's a great organization. Masai is one of the great GMs in that league, and pretty good place to start when you got Cooper Flagg on your roster. So, I think took advantage of the situation where he is, and I think he's going to do a great job up there.
Earlier this month, you mentioned Will Cooper's ability to shoot it and rebound it at 6'7", 215. From when you got him to where he is right now, what kind of jump has he made?
Yeah, he really developed last year. I was really pleased with Will as we made the decision to redshirt him, which doesn't matter probably, but he was really good. And the thing he does, he's tough. Listen, when you go to a military, when you go to the Air Force Academy, you got to have a level of toughness to you. And Will does. He's strong. Big, thick kid. He can really shoot the basketball. He shot the ball well in practice today, and he's a good rebounder. He goes after everything. And, he knows what he's doing defensively. He's smart out there. So he's going to compete for minutes. There's no question about it, just because he does a lot of things that we value. He's a great kid. He's a great teammate. Guys are all pulling for him, and it's good to see him get off to a good start this summer.
Leo staying in town this summer, what are the benefits of him doing that?
Yeah, that really helped Leo. I think staying this year, it was beneficial for him a year ago, really to get his name out there and play on his national team and have some really good moments. But you miss the summer, which is a completely different system than what he played in. So it's been good to have Leo here. A big part of it's been in the weight room. Kids putting a ton of work in. I'm really proud of him for how his body has developed, and now it's taking the next step. And again, he's 100% going to be fighting for minutes in the rotation. We haven't established anything to this point, but he's been good for us. He's been really solid. I think last year was very beneficial for him, especially those minutes he got. You go and play in a tournament game and make a big basket. That's important. You play well against the #1 team in the country to cut down the nets and had the type of impact that he did in that game. That's great for your confidence to know that you can do it. So yeah, I'm proud of Leo, and I'm excited for his season.
Back to that 5 for 5, what it could potentially bring, I guess, not having to worry about a red shirt here, just for situationally for guys that we may have previously redshirted in the past.
Yeah, I mean, it is, and it's going to be hard to manage all that. I mean, you got 15, in our case, 15 bodies out there, and, if you're getting into a game, those discussions are going to be had on, because, listen, guys that are maybe the end of your rotation, those guys are going to need minutes. As maybe guys that aren't in the rotation yet, might not be as important to get those guys in the game, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm explaining that the right way, but you have to have 15 guys that all want to get in the game. At the end of a, let's say, 20 or 25 point game, you're probably not going to have the luxury of getting all those guys out there as much as you'd want. So taking away the red shirt, which doesn't matter anymore. We'll see how that goes, but yeah, I don't know. It's part of your question, Steve.
Hey, with Caden Betts, you've known him for a long time, but can you just talk about your vision for him on the roster and what you are expecting him?
Yeah, Caden, first of all, just an unbelievable kid. Great energy every day. Comes in, never has a bad day. He's always got a smile on his face, and he can play. Got a great read on a slash on a baseline drive today, and went up and tomahawk dunked it. He's got that level of athleticism. We're working with him on his shot, and it's getting better every time he steps on the floor. He's getting more comfortable and getting more confident. Again, I talked about this a year ago. The hardest thing that we're going to have is who's going to be in the rotation and who's going to be on the outside looking in, at the same time keeping themselves ready. So, Caden's going to compete. I know that. He played in this league. He played for Minnesota, and I know how much those guys loved him when he played there because of the type of kid and the type of teammate that he is. And that's what he's showing us. But again, he's got a level of athleticism that we need.